right. So, part two, because I didn't get to finish because I didn't have enough space. So, this is uh, what happened when my client killed herself. Okay, and she like it was just I was telling her like you can't let people get to you like that because it happens that way, and I was telling her, excuse me, about my process, and she was just saying that she couldn't take it, and people were going out of their way, like how they used to come and find out where she's at just to torment her. I mean, just viciously going where she's at and spending a whole hour and a half just trying to rip her to shreds. And she's like, people don't understand that. I don't get this. I'm going insane. I must be crazy. Everybody's not gonna say that. And I'm sitting here, and she's like, well, I was working on myself, and she started getting to the point where um Emily was losing weight. And when I say she wanted to lose weight, she listened to them because she believed in constructive criticism. So she started losing weight, got down to 89 pounds. 89 pounds. Now, this is a grown 20-something-year-old woman, okay? And she's like, what, 5'7", 5'8"? So just guess 89 pounds is like bones, okay? I mean, literally bones. So, and it still wasn't enough. I mean, these people were so ridiculous. And just to hear, because she kept thinking that she was going nuts, that um, people were like saying bad things to her, she would record and have it recorded and listen to it. Bad idea, bad idea. I used to do that too, and I was telling her, like, sometimes you have to let that go because you're going to keep replaying it. And, like, how can I be better? When in reality, you have to understand that these people are horrible people, okay? Not to say that they started off being horrible, okay? They are horrible people because they did not work on themselves. They did not work on themselves, and had she taken the time to step back before doing something drastic, she would have known that this was the case. But when you're wound up and people are ticking you and probing you and not letting you get any proper rest or anything, she said this went on for like months, not just days, not weeks, months. And that's how I was even dealing with the pageant and other stuff. Anything that I've ever done that was on a wider scale, it gets really tough. You'll see these people, they'll come out and nag at you. When I got a promotion at my job, it was over. I mean, some of those people who've been there for 30, 40 years, seeing that I'm doing stuff quicker and people are noticing, they think that you're trying to take their job. It's like, no. I didn't even ask for the promotion. I just got the promotion because I was doing my job, and somebody saw that I really had a passion for it and felt that I needed to be in that position because they felt that I would be a better fit. But I was just telling her, like, keep going. Don't worry about it. Even though sometimes we are supposed to sit back and let people say their opinions, but it just felt like she was just very, very weak at that moment and at that time. So, excuse me, I just felt like I needed to encourage her. So that's what I did. Did it help her? I, I, I want to say no, but I don't know. I don't know. Because, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so after that, I mean, it went on for like months, and it to the point where she got down to 72 pounds, which is very frail. She's, collapsing out. She can't even work because she's gotten to this point. She's trying to please everybody. That's why it's going on, because excuse me, you're trying to make everybody happy while trying to make yourself happy. Try to accomplish your goals, which doesn't make you happy if you're just accomplishing your goals and pleasing other people if they're not going in the same direction, you know. So yeah, so anyhow, so Emily, after that, Emily went home, and I got a call saying that, well, before that, when I got finished with the therapy, her family did not even want her to have therapy sessions or have, group discussions, because I am not, I deal with social services, so I'm not, like social worker type stuff, case management. So, I'm not a licensed therapist, so when they get to that, when they get really, really deep, where she already had a therapist, because when you deal with these situations, they play on your mind. Like, your mind is so warped into believing something that is actually not. When people come and attack you, you're thinking that, okay, then they have to be sane. First of all, the first thing when you listen to someone who is talking to you, whether it's positive or negative, whatever you take it, you believe that this person is sane. And not only that, if it's somebody that you know that you are around and you're commonly with, and you receive them, you just really like them. It's somebody, and you think that they like you. You believe that they have your best interest at heart. So you're not going to, for the most part, fact check or compare what you've done or what you know to what they're saying. You're gonna take um, their influence and your past that you have with them, that rapport that you have with them, is going to oversee um, what you oversee what you think to be true to yourself for that moment, because your senses are down. Basically, your senses are down because you're not, like I said, you're not fact checking. You're not, you know, um, you're not thinking that way. Say for instance, uh, if someone that you never knew asked you for um $5, they said they were hungry and they asked you for $5, and you're like, I don't want to give him $5, and you say no, but I'll buy you a sandwich, and they say, well, you're selfish. Like, I asked for $5 so I can go get the listening. You say, all I have is a sandwich. All I can do is buy you a sandwich, and that sandwich is almost $5. It's like 3.70 something. If you want that, then that's fine. When they say that you're selfish, you're not going to go and really care, because for one, they don't have a rapport with you. They have less of a rapport with you. And on two, like, they don't know you. They don't know you. So what are they basing it off of? But if it's someone that you've been around the whole time and you're really caring about, and they call you selfish, especially if it's the first, the second time, or it's a constant thing. That's another thing. If it's constant all the time, if you haven't built yourself up to or separated yourself to know the facts, you're going to be like, well, I guess I could have been selfish, and try to do more. I have a cousin like this who does this. He plays this game all the time. It's like, poor little me, poor little me. I got these kids. Well, you don't have you don't have any kids. You're making this money and want you to go buy something, and then I'll pay you back, and then say, oh, it's a gift, and then when it's time to go repay, they'll say, oh, it's a gift, and I thought I didn't have to repay it back. No, you told me you were going to repay this, and then it's all, oh, well, you're just so selfish and blah, blah, and everybody will join on a bandwagon, like, well, like, no, you need to take responsibility. That's what it's boiling down to. This is, you make these decisions, these are the consequences of your decisions, and because of that, you have to make the best of it. Um, so anyhow, that is what I was telling her. Just fact check it. Just but you don't have that time. So she left when her family found out. I don't know how her family found out, but her family found out somehow, and they started just attacking her, talking about that when she goes into therapy to go see her therapist, she shouldn't be telling them their personal business, the family business, blah blah this, which her therapy had nothing to do with that. They just had a phobia of going to professionals for counseling. Like, okay, which I can, on some levels I've seen it. But for the most part, no. For the most part, no. But yeah, yeah. So these people were just loony, out of their minds, and they're going in these circles. And she's like, "How did this find out?" And I, I'm gonna say I believe it's the boyfriend, but I don't know for certain, so I can't. Yeah. But anyhow, so Emily, she's like she can't do this, and the boyfriend showed up. That's another reason why I was like, I think it's the boyfriend. But I really do think that harassment that way, especially when you tell them to leave and you have a protective order, it's so crazy because they can have a protective order and they have to be 30 feet or 30 meters away, and these people can still harass you like over the phone. They'll get he was getting different phones, calling her. I've been through that before too, and she was just going through the wire. She's like, I have no one to talk to. Like, they're trying to isolate me. Like, just because I want to do something different, and Emily's family was very, like, when I say dysfunctional. Even the ones that were deemed successful, there was a lot of background stuff. But anyhow, so she ended up taking some pills and collapsing. What saved her life was that she took these Xanax, I think it's Xanax, these pills. I don't know the exact name of them, but it's close to that. That's what she was telling me. So, and she collapsed in her hallway. Her neighbors got her, and they found out that she was trying to overdose. So this is how Emily almost killed herself. And if anyone is going through this, understand, like, it is something greater. You are more than anybody who's saying this. I don't give a care if you killed somebody. You are not deserving of being harassed or treated horribly. Like, after, no. If you're in these situations, get out. It's no reason for you to get to harm yourself or to harm someone else or to let someone to harm you. It's not acceptable. Go get the help that you need and drop these people off. In a couple of years, and I told her that, and it made me cry a lot because I was like, I remember when I was like, I want to say like 13. And I remember that I had got into this fight. I never forget this fight. And I got into a fight with one of my cousins, and this is one of the cousins I just talked about. But anyhow, I got into it because we used to live together, and we stayed in these 2-bedroom apartments. But with my aunt, when my grandmother couldn't take care of me and got heart attack, all that. So I lived with them and I stayed with them for a good minute until she kicked me out. So we were in this apartment complex, and it was 2 bedrooms. She stayed in one, and my female cousin, myself, and my 2 boy cousins stayed in the other in the other bedroom. Now, my other cousin, I was 13. Yeah, I was 13. So my older cousin was 17. My youngest cousin, that was the boy. The boy was 17. I was 13. She was either 13 or 12 because we're 9 months apart. And then her brother, which is 7 years younger than us, he was there. So he had to be like, 7 or something. So, and not only that, she had a lot of friends we always had a full house. When I say a full house, it was a full house no matter what was going on. Everybody came to her house to eat, to live. It was just so many. Like, it wasn't even time to, and you couldn't even wind down to the most part. It was fun sometimes to have a lot of people around, but for the most part, for me, because when I was younger, I grew up, like, we had a lot of people, but at a certain time, like around 8 o'clock, everybody's gone. You can relax, you can calm down, get prepared for the next day. Well, when I moved with them, it was like total chaos. Sometimes it was parties every day, constantly, all the way into the morning. They're like, yeah, we had a good time. I'm looking like I'm tired. Like, I used to have to watch kids too. It was crazy. But anyhow, what happened? Oh yeah, and I was working for, this time it was No, we were in school. We were in school during this time. But in the summer, early, the school year had just started. But we had, yeah, we had just started going back to school. But the summer before, I worked with my aunt, and she used to be a property manager for this place, and it was like they dealt with like market rents. They had like townhomes, so they would pay. These was brand new townhomes, and they would pay market. Some of them would pay market rent, and then others had like the Section 42 where you go and it's like a percentage. So it's not Section 8, but it goes off of your income. So you have the income brackets to qualify for them, and you can't go over it in order, or you will have to pay the market rent. So I was doing that, and I was working and doing and making money that way. I literally was working, like learning that stuff, passing out flyers, putting the mailers, cleaning everything I could to get $8 an hour, doing that during the summer full time. I had got, what happened? Yeah, we got home. I got home. No, I bought. It was school. It was about to be. No, it was school already. So I had already got all right, like our book bags and stuff. And I was like, we were really like right behind each other. We weren't close, but we had to be close because we lived together, but not like close, because we definitely had different. We just thought differently. So anyhow, she had the whole wall with like pictures of cartoon characters like Tweety Bird. She used to love Tweety Bird, y'all. Like Tweety Bird. And I was like, dang, I really want to put, like, can I have a part on the wall? Now, mind you, we had 3 beds because it wasn't until later until my oldest cousin came to permanently live with us. But it was 3 beds. It was a bunk bed and then another bed for my youngest cousin to be on the side. So he had a full bed, and then it was a full bed and a twin bed. So I was supposed to have the full bed at the bottom, and she was on the top. But when we had started having so many people, it was like I did not have a bed. I did not have anything. So I literally had to sleep on the floor because now it's all the way to where her whole, like, when I say her whole, like, all her friends slept in those beds, and it was like I didn't even have a place to go sleep at. Like, it was almost like everything was taken away. So I was like, okay, can I have this one part of the thing to put my certificates on there? I didn't even put my trophies would go outside, like in the living room, because we didn't have a lot of space. It was a 2-bedroom, like small apartment. Okay, it was way smaller than what I have now. So, and she used to get mad about that too. Like, what for? But anyway, so I had these 4 certificates that I had just got, and it was. In fact, I was in 7th grade. I got these 4 certificates, and what she did was she was with her friends, and she was talking about how she was going to tear these down, and this is her wall, and all this, and I'm like, you got all the ceiling, you got all this across the wall. I just asked for these 4 little squares. I have exactly 4 squares for 4 certificates, and it got to the point where we started fighting, and I mean, when we fight, like, we used to fight. I mean, tables, chairs. We hit each other upside the head with trophies. We bit each other. Like, when we used to fight, they used to try to, like, they would duct tape us together until we would stop fighting. We would have to go to the bathroom together, that kind of thing. Like, so I remember going through this. I know people are like, what the heck? What is the point? It's a point to this, okay? It really is, okay? Yeah, so we ended up fighting, and it was, like, to the point it was just detrimental. Like, after we bit each other, it was crazy. Like, of course, I'm a little bigger, so I'm going to win. Like, so even though we're, like, the same, well, I was bigger, probably, like, about an inch or 2 taller than her, but she was a little bit heavier than me. But, yeah, I got crazy strength. Back then, I did have crazy strength. So, at the end, my aunt was like, oh, you're going too far, and she was, like, cussing us out. And I remember that time, we both didn't get it. Like, we used to get swats. It used to be, like, holes in the paddle like this. Like, holes. It used to be, like, I'm going to say, like, 20 holes in these paddles. It was different paddles. I don't know where she got these paddles from. One was from, like, a sorority or something. But I couldn't remember what sorority it was. It was, like, pink and silver or something. But It wasn't like, AKA Delta or anything, or Sigma Phi or anything. I can even like the other non Greek or non black, like I don't know what these sororities were, but we used to get paddles with these things. I know that one of my cousins were affiliated with with the one paddle that I didn't know what it was. But so we would get these swats, and I remember, what's wrong? What's wrong? Huh? What? Hey, my dog. What's wrong? Hmm? What's wrong? Okay. I don't know what she's crying about, but she was on her feelings. But I remember that this one time that she when we got I thought that we were both gonna get in trouble, but she didn't get in trouble. I got in trouble. And when I say I got in trouble, I was the one that got the swats. I was the one that was getting called everything else, and it was horrible. Like my aunt was like, "You shouldn't have did this, blah blah this," and I'm like, "But she started it. She started the whole thing, and she tore up all my things. So why, when I tear up her thing and we get into the fight, why aren't we getting disciplined the same way?" Like, and I was just like, you know what? By this time, I'm fed up because this has been going on for years, and it's almost like you get picked on. Like for me, if somebody picks on me, I'm coming back for you. I'm coming back for you. I'm coming back for you. And I'm going to let you know. But I mean, it was so many like years, and it's always like, especially when people pick on you, and people always try to bully you. And then when you finally retaliate and you get the upper hand, people want to play the victim, and that's how it was. So then when I got finished with the whole whooping, it was like 5 minutes of this freaking paddle, and I was like, you know what? I didn't even cry anymore. I was just like, I'm so tired of this. Like, I'm leaving this place and never coming back. When I got finished, my cousin, who didn't even get the swats, was like, I hate you and I hope you die. I wish you never came to live with us and I hope you die. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I wish that I was dead. I really wish that I was dead. And I kept saying that, and I was like, you know what? I took everything out of the cabinet and I just started boom, 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 putting pills. I had took like, I don't even know. Well, I know it has to be God. Like, let me tell you, it was over 150 pills. And I was only like, I want to say no more than 125 soaking wet, like muscle. Like, I didn't understand it, but I took it and I was like, God, I'm ready to leave. I'm so tired of living like this. I'm so tired of going from house to house. I'm so tired of dealing with this. Like, I don't have, peace at home. I don't have peace at school. At least I got more peace at school because I can just focus on my work, just be happy, go to my friends. But at the same time, I had no peace. Every time I'm doing something, if I do something different, growing up with an accent, it's crazy. Like, people just attack. So I was like, you know what? I am so tired. I'm done. So I had to, like I said, it was over like 150 pills, but some of them was like, was it morphine? It's like some of them was the pills that you take, was some of my aunt's pills who had cancer, and you know how they have I think it's morphine, and it was, I don't even know how I still am here. Well, yes, I do. Let me tell you, because that was a whole nother story. But I remember doing that, and I remember that because we had bit each other, this was the only thing that saved me. Because we had bit each other on the head, we had to, and her head, because I had a cough drop in my mouth, they didn't know that I still had a whole bunch. I had like some Ricolas. It was those Ricolas, and I had them in my mouth when I bit her. It made her, like, we both had knots, but it made her knot get really bigger. And because I took my teeth and I twisted my mouth across hers, it made like a little nudge and a gash. She actually still has this little lump on her head till this day. Like, it's not the little gash, that part healed, but she still has that lump. So we had to get tetanus shots. This is what saved me. I'm telling y'all, this is, well, God saved me, but this is what saved me. Like, but anywho, so I remember that, going through that process and doing that. And as I came out, I was like, you know what? I'm never gonna do that again, and I'm never gonna let anyone take me out of my zone or who I am supposed to be just because they're not happy. I'm not gonna sit here and just die and let myself die and to kill myself over somebody who cares nothing about me or who doesn't appreciate my process. Now, when this all happened, after this all happened, and I told my favorite aunt, no, did I tell my favorite aunt? No, I told my aunt that decorates a lot first. Then I told my favorite aunt. By this time, they're all talking together. So my other aunt, because it's like four of them on my mom's side. Yeah, it's four of them. So my other aunt, because the other one died, so it was five, but now, well, it's three now, but it used to be four at that time. So my other aunt finds out somehow, and I'm still living with her. She kicks in the door. She kicks in the door. She's looking all through my like drawers and everything. Not only that, but everything else. She didn't say anything else to me. Just looked through all the drawers, kicked through the door. Instead of opening the door, this sounds dramatic. Like, this is the stuff I had to, no lie. Like, she kicked through the door, through the bathroom door, takes all the pills and throws them in the trash, like everything. So, it's stuff that wasn't even mine. Matter of fact, she threw my asthma medicine away. It was that deep. Like, that was just crazy. So I was just like, okay, then they told. My other aunt, and I was like, I had already told them that I wasn't going to do it because of what I saw when I went through. Like, if y'all go to the other, I can't even explain it. Like, it's a protection here. But when you go past it, it's like, it's different. That's all I can say. It's different. And just seeing that and the things that was told to me, like, I would never do that again. And I'm in my 30s now, and I've never did it again. So but I understand her process. And I just had to, I couldn't go and have too much of a longer conversation with her until she gets rehabilitated, till she goes back out into the world, because now they're going to put her on a 72-hour hold and, suicide watch and all that. But I did let her know that she's not alone, and you don't have to, don't let anyone stigmatize you because of that, because you can outlive this. That was just one obstacle. Yeah, you felt pressured and you felt like it was no way out, but now you have another chance. God is letting you know you have another chance. You're still here. You could have been taking all those pills that you did, just like I could have been taken out when I was 13, but I wasn't. And I'm living testament today. Like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to take your life just because you feel a certain way about how someone else is treating you. Because mostly it's about someone else. They're trying to project how they feel to you, and you're taking it. You're taking it. You don't have to take it. If they don't like who you are, so be it. Tell them it's other directions. It's 16 directions. 16 known directions, okay? If they don't like the direction that you're going in or the direction that you're facing, turn the other way. Turn the other way. It's a big world out there. It's somebody who like what you like, and it's somebody that like what you going about. And that's the thing you have to do. You have to go in your direction and find the right people that are going into your direction. Some of these people that's going to cross your path are never going in your direction. Some of these people are going in circles, and that's how you getting to them. They're going back and forth. So that's how you get to them. But when you go into your direction and you keep going and you keep going and keep going, you will find the right people, okay? You're going to find the right people. So that is what I would say to anybody who is thinking about, giving up on their dreams, who's thinking about killing themselves, who's thinking about taking themselves out because they're getting ostracized by family and things like that. Look, I get it. I get it. Everybody wants to feel love and belonging, but it's not always going to come from your family. It's not going to always come from that canal that you've been around. It's not going to always come around your friends, Look at those people who get adopted into a family, and they get the loving that they need. Or look at the people who are adopted and they get into families that they don't. You know what I'm saying? It's how you move about it. It's how you deal with this situation. And Either you can take it and run with it and learn from it, or you're going to use it as a blockade to the point where you're going to isolate yourself so where you can't grow. Going through this, and like I said, just living, and just when I made that declaration to myself, I was just like, first I repented to God, but I really did, and then I got myself right, but it took some work. Like I said, it took some work on me. I literally had to go 13 years old. That's why I knew I was going to win and I was going to make it through this time. And I had to tell her that too. And I was just like, yeah, you can do this no matter what people are saying about you. You're going to be an overcomer. You're going to be a conqueror. Don't worry about that, because the same people that are dogging you, let me tell you, when I went and I was going to that pageant, I was the least expected. I was the least one suspected of winning that damn pageant, okay? The least one. Even the lady who's over the pageant said, oh, you won't win. You won't win. And guess what? I did. So don't, and that's not only with that, that's with, when I was in high school, I remember they had this test called the ISTEP. They still have that. The standardized test to let you know whether, if you don't pass this in the 10th grade, you don't graduate unless you get a waiver or whatever. So I couldn't stand her then. I still don't like her now, but she did. Whatever. God rest her. Well, I ain't gonna say God rest her soul. May she lie in peace. May she lie in peace. But she was so evil. She was so vindictive to me, and because of that, I just started shutting down in her class. Even to the point where I would just stop going to the women's class because she was just so rude. She wasn't even rude just to us. She had a grandson that was in there that was rude. She was rude too. But she was like, oh, she couldn't pass it. She's not going to do this. She's not going to be smart and blah, blah, this. All the people, it was only 2 people that who she thought was going to pass that math part. I passed the math part. Look, I passed the math part. Not even going to her class or anything like that. You know why? Because I know my stuff. You can't let nobody, listen, they don't have no heaven or no hell to put you in. Don't be limited by these damn people, okay? And I said damn, okay? Because it just grinds my gears to just know that there are people out there that are so weak-minded that won't work on themselves, but you can sit there and put daggers into somebody else's dreams and somebody else's potential because you took all your time and being rambunctious and wasteful of your time, so you lost. You didn't even work on your potential, or you just gave up on your potential because somebody else put some daggers in yours. So instead of you making yourself better, you want to kill every living thing around you. No. You don't have time for that. You don't have time for that. So, if you're listening to this is for you. Keep going, keep moving, okay? There's somebody that's not going to like you, but it's going to be 10,000 more that's going to love you. And they're going to love you even more when you get better. So, hopefully something I said or done will help you on your journey. Please stay tuned. Thanks.